Hello, friend. Erin Chase here, and I would like to welcome you back to another new episode of the Erin Chase Show. We have lots to talk about today. I'm going to hop up on a soapbox really quick, and then we're going to dig into a really cool thing that you could be doing with your kids this summer. I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm going to give you a sneak peek right now. Let me just pop that up there. So this is a video where you can look and check out some of the different things that we have available for you. But before I hop on my soapbox, I just want to say thank you for your grace and extending that to me last week. I appreciate also all of the well wishes and whatnot I had shared in our email as well as in our just on social media that our dog had we were basically given 4 options. 2 of them were end of life options and 2 of them were let's hope and pray. And we are hopefully in the we're going to be okay phase. We've responded well to medication, but we need to see how he does off the medication, which will be this week. So last week was quite tumultuous. And then on to, after those lows, of course, Uvalde and the terrible tragedy there. And then on the up, we have our kiddos finishing school and a kiddo getting his Eagle Scout. So it was just kind of a wild week. So I appreciate I just needed to cancel it. All of last week, I needed a minute to sit. So hello, Andrea, my friend. I'm going to hop on a soapbox super fast. And I hear this a lot. Just in news and in videos online and in chatting with friends. I think I had this conversation like 26 times through the baseball season and our intramural basketball season in the last couple of weeks. And it is kids and devices and summertime and how do we handle that? And I have felt that pressure acutely. I think when the pandemic started, you can raise your hand or hit heart or whatever if you feel this too. The pandemic started and everybody just sort of defaulted to survival mode, which meant, devices for adults and for kids. I've personally been peeling myself away. I know how to do that. I know how to replace that time with work or with reading a book or with adventures with the kids, things like that. Like I, as an adult, know and can execute on how to peel myself away from the mindless scroll. Okay. There's still mindless scrolling that happens. Don't get me wrong, but I recognize it. I see it. I know how to get out of it. Children do not know how to do that. And it is our job to teach them how to do that. And it's our job to provide them the boundaries with how to do that. So this is just my little soapbox. And just to encourage you and to remind you that it is your job to monitor your children's device time. Okay, the end. Now, that being said, I would like to share with you today. It's a challenge. It's a struggle for everybody. Literally every single person that I've talked to in the last couple of weeks as school was kind of ending, like, what are we going to do this summer? What are our kids going to do? They're just going to sit and watch, YouTube videos and Minecraft videos and Roblox or whatever they're watching. I don't even know. And then there's the social media and older kids kind of getting sucked into that and just the comparison traps and all that comes with that. It's a real issue. And I'm not really here to share what's working or not working. We do a couple things around our house to help with all of this, but I want to encourage you to think about what can you do? How can you teach your kids how to replace this? And so I'll just share an example of things that we're doing super quick. One of which I'm going to tell you about today. Another one is typing lessons. So our school does not do typing per se, where you like sit and do the little, typing curriculum. So our older boys are doing typing curriculum. I realize that is a screen, but it's not mindless scrolling, and it is not endless time down the TikTok rabbit hole. Okay. Super side note: if your teenagers are on TikTok, I need you to go and check their TikToks. Just check them. Okay. Second, we just need to be mindful of this, and we need to be helping our kids. We need to teach them. We need to guide them in how to manage their time on their devices. Now, I don't think devices are going anywhere. They're such a part of our lives. There are cameras. There are There are video cameras. There are calculators. There are texting. There are social media. There are phone calls. I don't think they're going anywhere. I think what is the most important thing that we can do is teach our kids and ourselves. And it's a journey. It's a constant thing, right? is teaching them how to use them wisely, and how to use them for good, because there's a lot of bad that can happen there. So that's a conversation that we have around our house. Okay, back to things we're doing. We're doing typing. I have a kid who is getting his learner's permit for driving, so he's doing all of that. I have another kid who's taking the SAT soon, so he's doing that, and then going to a camp. So we have intentionally designed our summer free time to have part activities, part rest, and part downtime, because rest, part activities where they're going some places, and then part activities that they're doing at the house. And I want to talk specifically about one of those that we're doing, and that is WHIS-KID. If you've known me for the last little bit, you might have already heard about WHIS-KID. I usually only talk about it during the summer months because I think that's the best time to use it. And I want to encourage you to check it out. Now, I'm going to show you a demo copy. The one that we actually have available, the printed versions, which I'm featuring here now on the video. These are, it's all printed in color. My demo copy is black and white, but I'm going to show you this, but it's all in color. So WHIS-KID started the very first week of the pandemic. If you remember, maybe you don't, maybe you were here. We started live kids cooking lessons where I taught my kids how to cook in the kitchen while you taught yours. And we had a ridiculous number of friends cooking with us that very first week of the pandemic, because I was using what was in my pantry. You probably had the same thing in your pantry because we all stocked up on the same things back then, filling up our pantries with whatever we could. So I created this with the intention of, hey, we need to help our kids have something to do during the pandemic. Those very first weeks, if you can take yourself back to those first weeks. Well, the unintended consequence of that was that these cooking lessons, the unintended consequences were enormous. And I'm still reaping the benefits of that 2 years later. And so what I did is I quickly turned it into a kids cooking curriculum. I took all of the videos, I took all of the lessons, I expanded on them, I wrote cooking objectives, I wrote supply lists, the recipes, the shopping lists, all of these things. They're all in here. And I did this so that you would have an easy, affordable way to teach your kids how to cook. And I'm going to teach them. The videos are such that while I am teaching my boys in my kitchen, live as it happens, spills, mistakes, mess ups and all, I'm also teaching your kiddo, or you, if you need to learn how to cook. This could work for adults too. You can be a grown-up kid, a grown-up WHIS-KID. And the idea is I'm going to teach you how to cook I actually have a master's degree in curriculum and instructional design. So when I created this, the recipes that I chose, even back those first couple weeks that we did this in the pandemic, I chose recipes that had a cooking strategy that once you knew how to cook that, like a pasta skillet or a marinade with a baked chicken, once you knew how to cook that particular thing, then it would really open up kind of the world of cooking to you, where you could then apply this cooking strategy or cooking method and use tens, hundreds of different types of recipes, if that makes sense. So the recipes that I chose for this were very, very intentional, both with cooking method, but also budget friendly, also kid friendly. The kids are going to want to cook this food. And so we will continue working through this. Each of my boys have these. My older boys can probably do most of this now, which brings me to one of our most commonly asked questions is how old is this work for? Like what age? And I would say that it could work for as young as 6 or 7. If they're already showing a great interest in the kitchen, a younger kiddo, a 6, 7-year-old, maybe an 8-year-old could definitely, 8-year-old for sure, can work through this with a little bit of guidance. You might need to be there kind of watching. Of course, there's some things we do work with raw meat. There is some cutting involved. So anything like that, I have disclaimers everywhere for making sure that your kids are active in the kitchen. But the idea is you just kind of have to watch them. You don't have to think about what you're teaching them. You just let me do that. Older kids, 11, 12, 13, 14, even teenagers, if you want before you send your kid off to college, like if Ryan is starting his junior year this next year, if he hadn't already worked through most or all of this, I would just hand this to him and be like, you're responsible for 2 or 3 of these a week through the summer. Like this is just like basic life skills, right? I want you to know how to cook something more than ramen and box of mac and cheese, right? And I think the summer is just such a good time to work through this because we have a little bit more flexibility in our schedule. We don't have to like eat at a certain time and rush off to the next thing, or maybe we're coming in from the pool and we don't have to like have dinner on the table by 6:15 or whatever time you have at your house, right? Included with the WHIS-KID printed version, we have stickers so that you can rate that's the instruction card, so that you can rate the recipes. You get your 5 stars. We have the yums. We really like that one. And of course, there's space in the book to put the check mark sticker that once you completed that lesson. There's also space in the book for your kiddos to give themselves feedback, like, I learned this, I need to practice this further, I'm really good at that. Just giving them kind of that reinforcement that I think is really important with working with kiddos. I do want to mention 2 other versions of this. We have a starter pack and we have an ultimate pack that come with other goodies that are just good complementary gadgets, if you will, that go along with the lessons that we have in here. So the videos, we have bonus videos that are not in the printed book, about food safety, knife safety, and things like that. So really it is a well-rounded, affordable cooking curriculum that your kids can work through at your own pace, at your own convenience. Again, it's all budget friendly. And going back to what we reap, okay? We reap really important life skills. So you can see I'm at the office. I've been here since 10 o'clock this morning. There's food. Actually, several of the recipes that are in here, I know we have ingredients for that. My boys are on their own for lunch. They can prepare and cook themselves the lunch that they need to cook, whether it's a grilled cheese or a pizza bagel. There's several breakfast options, there's lunch options, there's dinners that are in here. They're on their own. So I am reaping the fact that I don't have to prep lunch. Of course I will when I can and I want to, and I like to prepare food for my kids, but I also like to work myself out of the job. So that's one way. The second is just having just a little bit less work for you, just those important life skills. And I think the third and most important thing that I've seen in my boys and that I've heard from others as well is just kind of that confidence, like, oh my goodness, I can do that. It just puts a little like pep in their step, if you will, when they have when they get this added confidence for working in the kitchen and learning these new cooking skills. So let me switch this back. We do have a digital version. I'll show you that one really quick. It's basically everything that's in this printed copy plus the instructions in a PDF file. So if you wanted to just access this on your iPad, you can store the file on your iPad. You could access the file and you can then watch the videos, on an iPad or on your phone. I also set it up in a way that is super, super simple, and your kids can even navigate to the videos themselves. It's very easy to get going on a lesson. So your kiddos just need to look through the book, decide what they want to start with first, and then get to it in the kitchen. Again, the videos are guided, so it's me teaching my boys at the same time I'm teaching your kids. And that's the beauty of this sort of a setup. That's why these lessons are so affordable. I'm not going to send you the food in a box. I know a lot of cooking classes, you either have to attend a facility or you have to buy all the food that goes with it. They're just a lot more expensive. And this is the most affordable way to get this many lessons. There's 21 lessons in here, the most affordable way to get this many lessons into a kid's cooking curriculum. And that's why I created WHIS-KID for you. And that's why we have it all printed out with the different options and the different starter kits. I'm going to drop a comment super quick with all 4 options in the store. You can read about it on the link that is here on the video, but I'm going to go ahead and drop the options here into the comments so you can check that out. I have been featuring them kind of along the way here on here. I'm going to switch it back to this printed version. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I want you to know that there are really fantastic lessons in here. Again, important life skills, important, we're whisking, I like to say what does it say on the front? Oh, stirring up confidence and creativity in the kitchen, or whisking up confidence and creativity in the kitchen. That's exactly what I'm going to do. 21 cook alongside us lessons and videos for the young chefs of all ages. You can be 87 and be a young chef as far as I'm concerned. So there you go. This curriculum is designed, as I'm just reading off the front here, to instill cooking habits and cultivate valuable life skills in the kitchen. It truly, truly does this. If you want an activity for your kids that does not involve social media, mindless scrolling or mindlessly watching videos. If you want, there are videos involved in this, but like I said, they're actively they are cooking, they're actively working, and then in the end, you get a great meal. I mean, come on, super fantastic ideas and options for you here. So be sure to check this out if you don't have this already. You can read a little bit more about it in our store or on the link that's here on the video tab. So that is what I wanted to share with you today, how we're rolling into the summer, what our kids are up to, how can we actively engage them in a way that is easy and that is affordable and that is accessible. And I think that WHIS-KID is kind of a combination of all of those options there for you, just to you get a delicious meal at the end of it all, or they get a delicious meal depending on how much they make. It's portioned for four servings, so that if your whole family wants to partake, they can, or if you need to double it or whatnot, you can do that as well. So give WHIS-KID a look over. Let it help you teach your kids valuable life skills and gain in confidence in the kitchen. And in the end, like I said earlier, less work for you in the long run. I promise, my friend. All right, check it out. That is what I got for you for this week's episode of the Erin Chase Show. I will be back tomorrow. I have another new goodie to show you. And Thursday, we have a Dinner Made Easy show. We're actually going to be cooking one of the recipes from here, and I might have a kid with me. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. And that's what I got for you this week, my friend. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. It is bye for now, and we'll talk again soon.